Good evening, I'm Jess De Los Santos. This is a special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of TV5 and Signal TV's One News, Radyo 5, and 1PH. Also joining us on occasion will be our One News partners from the Philippine Star and Business World. After President Rodrigo Duterte declared a nationwide state of calamity, Malacanang moved to order agencies and LGUs to comply with price controls on agricultural products as well as some health supplies. To help us understand the guidelines, Agriculture Secretary William Dar is now on the line. Sir, how can we assure that the order will be strictly implemented?
Yes, we will implement. We will increase our enforcement teams so that they will be visible in the markets.
Okay. Sir, if you can just give us a details here, what particular agricultural goods or products are we including in this price freeze as part of the order released by the palace earlier?
Well, there are 9 commodities that have been under suggested retail price, like whole chicken, tilapia, bangos, onions, garlic, liempo, sugar, yan po, siyam na food commodities.
Okay, sir. Do we have any particular time frame on this one? Isasabay ba to doon sa 6-month na declaration ng state of calamity or hindi naman kailangang sabayan yung time frame na yon?
No, it's only for this season na tight yung supply at saka mayroon itong problema natin sa COVID.
Okay, so how will we determine, sir, the exact time as to when it should be lifted? Meron ba tayong parameters or standards for us to actually determine that we can already at least let go of this price freeze?
Well, ang kagandahan po ay itong season coming ay tumataas na ang supply. So, at ang tinitingnan lang namin ngayon yung tamang bagsakan para mas maraming mabili kasi maraming mga restrictions during the enforcement of this lockdown or enhanced community quarantine of Luzon.
Okay, sir, as well, I just wanna ask then, kanina na-mention you're going to strictly implement this. Does that also involve at least sending out teams to monitor the prices? Meron ba ditong cooperation with the DTI, perhaps?
That's what we are doing. We are working with DTI and the LGUs together.
Okay, sir, also I want to drive on this particular slant here kasi earlier we were getting reports. I know the Department of Agriculture has already assured, there's going to be unhampered supply, especially of goods na kakailanganin natin dito sa Luzon area. But earlier as well, we did receive reports of trucks, delivery trucks at least experiencing delays in their entry in Manila. And we're not just talking about trucks that are supposed to supply here at the NCR, but even in other parts of Luzon, say Cavite or Laguna. So ano pong reaction natin dito or at least is this something na natatrabaho na ho natin to make sure na smooth ang supply?
We have just stressed this out today. Actually, the meeting is going on, but now this subject matter has been finally decided. The PNP has been directed to really let all these cargoes to move really unhampered. Of course, they will check from time to time. Spot checking is the name of the game. And the temperature checking for the pahinantes, mga driver ay gagawin po nila.
Okay, sir, do I take it to mean, sir, na yung minention nyo that the PNP will be deployed to actually help these delivery trucks to have an easy access? Does that mean sila yung mag-check, sir, if they have that special sticker or pass na ibibigay ng DA, if I have the information correctly?
We will facilitate the issuance of these passes para mas mabilis pa. What I understand from the PNP chief kanina, kausap ko, si General Archie Gabua, ay may 2 linya na ang tinitingnan nila. Isang linya para dun sa cars with passengers at isang linya para dun sa movement ng cargos.
Okay. Sir, ito last question before I let you go. No? We were talking to Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles earlier here on One News and TV5, and he did mention that the IATF is of course a meeting, and in fact he was supposed to speak at least at around 8 p.m. in the evening. If I may ask, Secretary, what's causing the holdup here or the delay?
Exactly, what's the question again?
Sir, I believe the IATF, the Interagency Task Force, is still meeting.
Yes,
In
yes.
fact, we were told that Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles was supposed to hold a press con at around 8 p.m. this evening. If I may ask, sir, what's causing the delay po?
No, we are now wrapping up, so he's waiting for the final decisions po.
Final decisions coming from the President?
No, from the IATF, yung mga decisions dito ng IATF.
Is there anything significant? What are the things that we can expect from the press con, sir, if ever?
I think let's wait for CABSEC Carlo
All right.
to handle this.
All right, thank you very much,
Salamat po.
Agriculture
Salamat.
Secretary William Dar, for your time. Now, still on the price freeze, we also have DTI Undersecretary Ruth Castelo on the line. Attorney, on your end, how can we ensure that the Palace's order and price freeze on medicines will be strictly implemented?
Good evening, Jess. Good evening to all your viewers and listeners. The DTI has been implementing the price freeze under the Price Act as soon as Proclamation number 922 was issued by the President. The Price Act says that when the country or an area is placed under a state of emergency, automatically prices of basic necessities divided among all the 5 implementing agencies under the Price Act shall freeze. So automatic price control is now being implemented by DTI on basic necessities. These are manufactured products, whether food or non-food. So they're automatically frozen at the prevailing price for the average price of the last 3 months before the declaration of the emergency.
Okay, average price for the last 3 months before the declaration, no?
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
Are we looking at a particular time frame here as to when, as to how long this price freeze would hold?
Yes, the Price Act says that the price freeze will be effective for a period of 60 days until otherwise the President lifts the state of emergency.
Has there been significant, at least prior to the announcement of a state of emergency here, or a state of calamity, has there been a significant increase in prices since last week, since Metro Manila was placed under community quarantine?
Not for DTI and not for some products of the Department of Agriculture, because we have, for DTI in particular, we have a suggested retail price bulletin for all basic necessities and prime commodities. The DA also has some for about 8 or 9 products. So prices of these goods cannot go anywhere above the suggested retail price. But since we had the SRP, prices of these products some are even lower than the suggested retail price. But even if it's lower than the SRP, as soon as an emergency is declared, prices freeze. So it cannot go any higher even if it's lower than the suggested retail price currently being implemented.
Okay, one area that is of concern definitely would have to be online selling. So how is this something that you actually get to monitor or regulate?
We have the Fair Trade Enforcement Bureau, of course, that monitors both physical stores and virtual stores. We do have monitoring on online products that are under the mandate of the DTI, but we also have a relationship with a legitimate online platform. We ask them to take down or maybe penalize, give sanctions to their online sellers who sell products above the suggested retail price if there are SRPs on these products. Example would be basic goods under the SRP bulletin of DTI. These are manufactured food products. When we see them online being sold at prices higher than the SRP, we ask them to take them down. Also, for the products of the Department of Health that have suggested retail prices, particularly the N88 face mask. We ask the online platforms to take them down, and then we go after the sellers. We file cases against them. If we do not know where they are or who they are, we ask for the help of the NBI or the CIDG.
So it's going to be quite a long and tedious process, to be honest.
It is, but at least it's a deterrent once the platforms advise them that they will have to be taken down. Word comes out that government is really on it and watching them.
But has there been a significant drop, at least in sellers that actually overprice their items since you've made these regulations?
At least with the help of there are top 10 online platforms that the DTI works with. And at least for these 10 online platforms, we get, with their assistance, at least we are able to minimize on overpricing on online selling.
All right, thank you.
Also for
Go ahead, ma'am.
I just want to say also an example would be the alcohol, the disinfectant isopropyl alcohol that is currently being sold online as well. The Department of Health suggested retail price on a 500 ml bottle is at 74.25. This goes up as high as 500 pesos sold online. So consumers just need to be aware that they can always buy this at the brick and mortar store, in supermarkets that DTI watches, to make sure that they get the quality and the price that they deserve. So please do not buy online, do not entertain offers online saying that you will get it at a cheaper price. No, it's not true. Just go to the physical stores, you'll find them there.
But I guess also the challenge is addressing it at the root, which is, the problem about hoarding. So how is this something that you actually monitor or regulate?
That's exactly the reason that we have issued a directive towards the retailers to sell alcohol only at 2 bottles per customer, regardless of size, whether it's the 60 ml or the 250 ml or the 500 ml. We have limited the sale to 2 bottles per person, also to prevent hoarding, because we know that they will buy all the stocks in the store, then sell them online at a higher price.
Have you at least recorded any violators as of the moment?
Not with the retailers that have cooperated with us, no.
All right.
But of course, there are people who still go panic buying and buy in hordes, and we discourage that. We have asked retailers as well not to allow that.
All right. Thank you very much, DTI Undersecretary Ruth Castelo, for your time.
Yes, thank you, Jess. Good evening.
Thank you, ma'am. The government's campaign against illegal drugs, dubbed as Oplan Tokhang, has been suspended due to COVID-19. Metro Manila Police Chief Debold Sinas on Tuesday said the National Police will now shift its focus towards combating the further spread of the virus. Under the declaration of a state of calamity and an enhanced community quarantine, law enforcement agencies are tasked to undertake all necessary measures to ensure peace and order. Filipinos on a boat from Malaysia that was turned away by authorities in Basilan will be quarantined on an island. West Mindanao Command Chief Cirilito Sobejana says officials have created a task group that will look after the returning Filipinos and have identified an island near Sulu to be used as temporary quarantine venue. 22 of the 105 Filipinos were allowed to disembark after proving that they are from the province. Vice President Leni Robredo calls for more social safety nets for poor Filipinos affected by a month of enhanced community quarantine. The Vice President appealed to the private sector to provide meals and financial aid to affected barangays and communities. Robredo supports social distancing to combat the spread of COVID-19, but called attention to those who would be left vulnerable by the tactic, including low-wage earners and senior citizens. She also called for a whole-of-society approach against the virus. The Commission on Higher Education asked universities and colleges to be more lenient as classes shift online due to the threat of COVID-19. This was after CHED chairperson Prospero de Vera III received complaints from students unable to comply with the requirements using online or distant learning mode. Among the common concerns are unstable internet connection and the policy of strict home quarantine. That's the latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine in Luzon. For more updates, follow News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Jess De Los Santos. We are One News.